Last week at Road Atlanta, the darkness proved to be the #1 enemy not only for us, but the drivers as well. Plenty of incidents were to be had, especially with lapped cars interfering for the battle for the lead. Another tricky circuit ahead, and will we see more calamity? We go green in Montreal, live next on ASN. Our venue for this evening is the virtual circuit Gilles-Villeneuve. Built in 1978 and located on the Ile Notre Dame in Montreal, Canada, it is a 2.71-mile street circuit known for its blend of high-speed straights and tight chicanes. Famous corners like the high-speed Senna S and the tricky Wall of Champions at the final chicane have become iconic challenges for drivers. This circuit hosts the Canadian Grand Prix and has seen some thrilling races over the years, and its unique setting along the St. Lawrence River and its demanding layout make Circuit Gilles-Villeneuve a favorite for fans and drivers alike. The format for the TORQ Sports Car Series is as follows. We are in a 15-minute qualifying session to determine the grid for our 45-minute feature race. In TORQ, there's a capacity field of 48, but for the first time this season, nobody will go home. The 6th season of the TORQ Sports Car Series continues tonight, live on the Automotive Sports Network. With Bryan Sawyer in the production truck, and also next to me in the commentary box, my name is Josh Mertz, as we welcome you to Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Cameras all season on ASN, brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/WSimCams. And thank you, Andrew Carnelli IV, for your camera support. And Mr. Bryan Sawyer, it's your first time officially joining us this season. My question originally was for Victor, back again, right? I was going to ask the question to Victor, with Road Atlanta causing issues here at ASN, drivers alike. We got another tight circuit again. So I guess, how are you, and what are your thoughts coming into Montreal this evening?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to watch some GT3 cars again. It was fun last season doing it, so I'm glad to be back. Praying internally that this new system that we're running stays together. But so far so good, so I'm happy to be here.
In qualifying, David Schofield actually on his third run. We're gonna keep an eye on the qualifying laps for now, and then we'll go through some programming notes and sponsor plugs. We kind of joined qualifying a little bit late. Schofield in the 3:13, the man from New Hampshire, currently on top at a 1 minute 35.376. Parker Dime 35.627. Ricardo Delgado, 35.648. There are 5 cars in the 35-second bracket, but Miguel Colon, P1, at a 35.282 in the 87. And he's got one. No, that was his first lap, Bryan. He's got 2 more to go. Let's see. Michael Odell in the 97 on his second lap. And Brian Coxon, how can we forget the 23? He's beginning his first lap in the McLaren, switched from the Corvette last season to the British Marquis. And the 23 trying to get some good runs in. Let's actually take a look at some programming notes. I know I might have fibbed a little bit in our intro here, but we're going to take a look at some upcoming shows on the Automotive Sports Network. Saturday, the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge will have round number 8 at Navarra in Spain. The Endurance Cup concludes. It was a brawl in futures, crazy in lights, awesome in contenders. Who knows what the World Championship class will do in NASA. It is 2 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Myself, Josh Mertz, and Bryan Sawyer for that. NASA Rallycross Futures and Lights. Back to the Rallycross regular circuits. We've got Josh Darnell and Ethan Halsey, hopefully. That crew's a little bit up in the air. You'll have that on Sunday, 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. NASA Rallycross Contenders, also in Barcelona. That's Monday the 28th, 9 p.m. Eastern. Bryan Sawyer, Justin Roba Show. And our next round for the TORQ Sports Car Series at Le Mans on Halloween. And I may or may not be here. We're going to figure that one out internally. You might have to fight my wife for me being around. Either way, the show will be at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And Bryan Sawyer will be in the booth and in the production truck. You might have to do it all by yourself.
Sure, that will go great. While we were doing that, Miguel Colon resets fastest lap. 153 or 135.058.
Wow. 3/10 up on Schofield. Jose Dolio goes up to 7th. We've got, looks like 42 cars, 42, 43 cars, so down. And this track, not as, I wouldn't say well-liked, not as purchased as the other tracks. The first couple tracks, I think, were free content anyways, Brian, so it always has those bigger fields.
I like this track. I bought it 1 week and won an F4 race here. So I think that's the only time I've run it, too. So I'm like at 100%.
Not bad. Not a bad record at all. As we're currently looking at Miguel Colon in the 87. And once we finish up his lap, we can take a look at the Pro-Am, all the point standings. As David Schofield in the 313 off track. So let's take a look at points. As Miguel's the only car in the top 5 on track. We've got Coxon, but I don't think he's down on pace. So let's take a look at the pro class. Coming into the race in Montreal tonight, Hector Alvarez, Corey Allen. I don't think Corey Allen is here. I'm not sure if I've seen Hector Alvarez in this result either. And there are, like I said, 42-ish cars. So we'll just have to see. Omar Esvito, Brian Coxon, Ruiz, Ramos, Carrito, Sandoval, Rivera, and Dylan Clark, the top 10 in pro. In the AM category, Kyle Smith, Miles Davis, Jose Dolio. That is out of order, Brian Sawyer.
It's
so
super
we're just
out
gonna.
of order. Big fan of that one.
Maybe the other one was either. And like I said, the new system. Yeah, Esvito's not third in points in pro. System's a little broken. So I'm gonna flick through. I think the teams are right though. Sim PR on top, ahead of EHM White by 3. Sim Racing PR, 10 points down on them. Saints and Sinners, WBM Green through the constructors. And in manufacturers, McLaren leads by 8
There
points.
we go, Josh. See? Look, new system, I can fix it on the fly.
As my stuff is completely frozen internally, so maybe if you want to bring it back up. Oh, there we go.
Well, there's constructors.
Now we can see it. Now we can see it. Just classification of the top 10 in the Constructors' Championship. Coming into the race in Montreal. And can we pull those manufacturers up? There we go. Ferrari, Porsche, Corvette, BMW, Lamborghini, Mercedes-Benz, and Audi, the remaining classification in the Manufacturers' Championship. 4 cars on track. Our very own Justin Robichaux getting some laps in. We got Miguel Colon, Brian Coxon, Jose Dolio, and Morgan Smith. Morgan Smith, one of the cars that have not set a lap time. Nathan Kretschmer, I think, crashed on all of his laps. The man that won in Monza a couple of weeks ago. 38th currently in this field. If I'm looking at a couple cars that did not set lap times, Ethan Halsey, if you're just joining us from last week, stepped out of the car to race control. So the 61 will not be on track running laps, but he will pay attention, of course, as we look at our very own Justin Robichaux in the 193
Nice
for the final
car.
chicane, while the champion's on the outside. Beautiful livery on the Mustang, Brian. Across the line, 137.996. So he matches his last lap time, currently sitting 32nd overall. As everybody's getting sick at the Automotive Sports Network, commentator-wise, Ethan Halsey lost his voice on Sunday. I've had a sinus infection, so apologies if I'm not as energetic as normal, or if I do sound a little bit off. Trying our best tonight. It's been a good time. But, only car on track to run. Well, Morgan Smith is done with their laps as well. So everybody's done with their laps, Brian. Everyone, the 2 cars on track, getting the extra practice.
We got a couple minutes left, so you don't park it. You might as well get some traffic or practice in. Miguel on P1, he's just sitting in pits. I thought he was practicing. I could see 1 car on track. But,
impressive. 3/10 up on the rest of the field ahead of Schofield, Delgado, Dime, Cox in the top 5. First AM-class car is Ryan Gibato, and it's Jose Dolio, Rafael Sosa. We'll go over the grid, of course, when the qualifying session kicks over to the race session. Be sure to join the conversation, hanging out with us on ASN Live on the YouTube chat. And like always, if you're on ASN On Demand, you can join us on Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Saturday for our live streams, like we mentioned in the programming guide earlier on. And looking forward to not having any technical issues with not having 48 cars rendering a bunch of lights, Brian. Super exciting.
Yeah, 48 cars and a bunch of lights on the dark track. It's not fun on a computer when you're trying to do that and stream and run some timing software. It's a bit of a bog.
Even for these, well, I don't want to, of course, insult our own productions, right? But we are much smaller compared to the grand scheme of Formula One and NASCAR and all those fun things. Even for this little small production that we do, every single bit that you see takes some form of computing power. The ticker at the bottom, the ASN News ticker, the scrolling ticker, all of it. So when you add in all of those cars, rendering all of those lights, computer says, I'm done, I quit. So we'll have better luck this evening. As qualifying is confirmed and over, Miguel Colon on pole position in Pro, Ryan Guibardo on pole in Am, and our grid in just a couple moments will look like this. Just kidding. It gives you a couple seconds before that ends. I had it all timed perfectly. Here we go. Miguel Colon, David Schofield, Ricardo Delgado, Parker Dime, Brian Coxon, Guibardo Rivera, Ramos, Dolio, Odell, the top 10. Then we have McAulty, Ruiz, Sosa, Clark, Padovani, Oquendo, Fazzillo, Ferretti, Corrido, Johnson, the top 10. In 21st will be Nathan Branham, Ramon Vasquez, Holroyd, Wilkie, Goddard, Esvito, Coffey, Darius Timms, very own Cody Erdman making his debut, dusting off the sim rig, and Wanchi Rakenna in 30th. 31st will be Jack Clark, Justin Robichaux, Donnie Heineman, Stephen Ryan, Guillermo Zagenza, Nick Vincent, Ed Boyles, Morgan Smith, Miles Davis, Nathan Kretschmer, 40th, and shotgun on this field, the man who won the AM class in Monza. The starts have been chaotic, Brian Sawyer, over the last 3 weeks. Will week 4 be any different?
Hopefully not. No, hopefully, yes. Yeah, hopefully it's going to be not too chaotic. We can keep track of what's going on, who's where.
Hopefully not the same.
Yeah.
As we get ready, we're just waiting for Erdman in the 29th position to grid, but he is in the session. Palermo and Davis are out of the session. Morgan Smith is not gridded. So we just wait for a couple more cars to jump on the grid in about 20 seconds. Thanks for joining us on the Automotive Sports Network as we get ready to roll for the TORQ Sports Car Series here in Montreal. If you'd like to join the TORQ Sports Car Series and their upcoming IndyCar Series, we've got that QR code on the ticker. And if you'd like to join self-promotion for 2 seconds, NASA for some rallycross action, nasasimracing.com. We've got that link in the bottom on the ASN news feed. As both leagues partnering and growing each other's community in their respective disciplines of racing. No Davis, no Erdman, as I believe we are rolling here in Montreal. So to the pit lane start for those two cars. 38 will take the green flag on track. 10 cars less than capacity. And Miguel Colon, David Schofield, Ricardo Delgado, Parker Dime, and Brian Cox. Continuing the theme of, like we've mentioned before, different drivers at different tracks and different cars at the front of this field. It has been plenty of parity in the first couple races of Season 6 of the TORQ Sports Car Series. As still no Davis or Erdman on track. So, like I said, they'll have to start the pit lane regardless. But usually you'd want to get in the car, Brian, and get prepared to be released when the field goes by.
Yeah, that's kind of the whole point of a race, being in the car.
As Cody Erdman just texted me on the side, he said 3 minutes left into qualifying, all of his stuff corrupted and reset to factory settings. Erdman will not, I don't think, be racing this evening. Safety car is off. Cologne and Schofield on the front row of the grid as we get ready to go green in Montreal, Canada. Green flag. What a jump for Cologne off the line. We're 3 wide in the back of the field for a moment. It was Guibato looking for a way around, mowing the lawn. Brake checking was done onto Guibato. It accordion the field together into the first couple of corners. One around, it's Coxon. In the McLaren, in the 26. 3 wide in the middle of the field. Goddard in the Hornet's Nest. Contact with Carrito. And Padovani is still side by side through the field for the most part. Erdman actually has exited the pit lane. Leaders single file through turn 4, side by side through the field. No contact yet, as Coxon, I think, spun by himself, as Bryan in the field trying to calm down through this first half a lap.
Yeah, when there's this many cars, Josh, I have no idea what to click on first. Just sit and watch all the cars come through some of the corners, and we'll figure out what happens from there, because sometimes it's too chaotic. I don't know what to click. You're calling everything.
As Cologne, Schofield, Delgado, Dime, Guibato, Ramos, Rivera, Odell, Clark, McNulty, the top 10. Oquendo, Ruiz, Ferretti, single file through. Unbelievably, I think. One car missed the braking point into the hairpin. I think it was Rafael Sosa. He did. Comes across into Nick Johnson. Johnson got pushed onto the grass nearly. Side by side, 3 wide on the hairpin. Morgan Smith, Coxon, and Clark off the track in the 197. Trying to pick up what he's saying on the radio off monitor. Can't catch it at the moment, as Erdman has caught Jose Dolio in the 46 at the tail end of the field. Through the final chicane for the first time in Montreal. Such an easy corner to get wrong. You hop the curb and into the fence you go. Miguel Colon leads by 1.2 seconds ahead of David Schofield. It's a further, let's call it 7/10 back to Delgado in third. Some rear end damage and front end damage to both Guibato and Ramos in the 25 and the 993, Bryan. They stacked up in turn 1.
Yeah, so that's going to hurt.
That's going to hurt. One car dropping through the order. Zillow dropped through the order. One car, Carrito looking drivers left of Vasquez, giving him a nudge. This is for the 16th position, as Vasquez ahead of the 320 of Dan Carrito. Carrito using the bumper not only in NASA Rallycross Lights, but also here in the TORQ Sports Car Series. As Wilkie behind him in car number 3. Allroyd tumbling down the order. Rear end hanging off of the 73, trying to take a look off monitor. It looks like Fozzie Fazillo came together with him. They touched through the chicane and into the fence. Went 73. Rear bumper gone. One car basically in the middle of the road. It's Omar Esvito in the 18. Came across in front of Jesse Coffey and Zach Goddard in the 29. Goddard deep on the brakes, trying to take the spot from Coffey. 3 wide. Here comes Coxon. Raquena came across in the braking zone, and Raquena, I thought, was going to get turned. Saved it mid-hairpin. Argy-bargy action early on here in Montreal. Darius Timms now battling Coxon, and that is for the 25th position. We're single file for the first, I'd call it, 20 positions. Side by side, Raquena and Coxon. Raquena lets him have it. One car in the middle of the road. That is Coffey in the 808. If we can jump back to 23rd, 24th region here, Bryan, we got a Hornet's Nest led by Omar Esvito in the 18 in 22nd. As Christian Oquendo has made a mistake, it looks like. I think he got a slowdown in the first couple of corners. We look at Fozzie Fazillo right now in the 98. He gives up a couple positions. Side by side, Morgan Smith and Justin Robichaux. Robichaux moves up a position to 28. I promise I'll give you a moment to talk here, Bryan, but they just aren't relenting.
It's okay. I'm dealing with an internal problem. So.
As we are fixing something internally. So if the calls don't match what you see, Bryan's fixing something in a different screen. So I'll try and paint a picture as best I can. That's why.
You get to see everything.
We gotta fix everything. We'll do it live, like Bill O'Reilly said. Welcome to ASN. Rafael Sosa and Ramon Vasquez for 15th and 16th. What happened to Dan Carrito? Did Carrito get by them, or did he have an issue?
Got moved up to 17th. I don't know where he was before, but he's up to 17th now. I think he's around. He had an issue
because he was battling those guys for those positions a little bit earlier on. We won't worry about it. Parker Dime passing Ryan Guibardo. Guibardo pits in the 25. Heavy damage on that Porsche. Miguel Colon leads by 2 seconds over Schofield. And Guibardo obviously tumbling down the order. It's going to make the timing screen think that there's on-track overtakes being made. And I think Schofield got a slowdown, Bryan, through the first chicane, or maybe the last one. He gets passed by Delgado and Dime.
Definitely did. He was off to the side, just letting everybody through.
So now, Schofield loses some time through 3, 4, and 5 to the 6 and 7 chicane, down the back straightaway. Straightaway where Danica Patrick was leading in 2010, I want to say, in the Xfinity race, got hit by a shoe and ended up losing that race that afternoon. It pierced the grill, pierced the radiator. Not a fun time for car number 7 that day. As we ride on board Schofield here in Montreal, I'm going to take a quick flick through the field. Christian Oquendo looking to the outside of Nick Johnson. That is for the 13th position. We've got Morgan Smith and Nathan Kretschmer for 29th. Nick Johnson has been black flagged by race control. Ethan Halsey. Not sure why on that one. Omar Esvito black flagged as well, as I wasn't able to hear internally at least what had happened.
We know what kind of
one car around Ed Boyles. It does not tell me internally. I don't know if it tells you.
That doesn't tell me either. I was wondering if we could tell if they got a drive-through or what happened.
One car around in the hairpin, trying to pick it up and see. Apologies, it's Aaron Hallroyd in the 73. Morgan Smith not happy with Kretschmer.
I think we can actually go look at that. Oh, he got touched.
Robichaux, it looks like, on the grass.
Like the car in front of Robichaux.
As Kretschmer and Smith are arguing, Morgan Smith thinks that Kretschmer raced him dirty. And Kretschmer is very confused. Robichaux looking to the outside. That is Robichaux.
Yeah, he touched Robichaux. Robichaux's car bounced back in.
Robichaux touched the grass, and off he went.
He's back.
Update on the top 10. Miguel Colon, Ricardo Delgado lead. Colon by 3.5 seconds. Couple cars. Nathan Branham has looped it, so forget my update. Branham looped it. Oh, he bounced and clipped the curb. And into the fence went the 30. He's going to tumble down the order now. Easy in that first chicane, turn number 4. It's a little bit off camber. You hit the curb wrong, and it just bounces your car, Bryan, and around you go.
Yeah. You did a good job getting off the track. You just held it there. And that's an awful feeling, just to hold the brakes and sit there and watch everybody drive by you.
It's awful. I agree in that instance. That's why you see a lot of guys try and maybe pull out when there's traffic coming to you think you're getting out of the way, but realistically you are already out of the way. As Justin Robichaux and Nick Vincent deep into the hairpin. He's going to drop some positions, I'm noticing, on timing.
Yeah, it looks like we lost Cody Erdman too.
12 down to the 30th spot. As one car, Jack Clark, in the 197, ran deep off into the hairpin. And like I said, Cody Erdman had all of his stuff reset 5 minutes before the race, so it's given all the defaults, so not something he's used to. Jack Clark coming across radio, confused as to something. I think he got pushed off the road and was not apologized to. As Omar Esvito in the pit lane, Norman Padovani has gotten passed by Ramon Vasquez for the 15th position. Erdman passes as Esvito in the pit lane, so pretty calm. After 9 minutes or so, Fozzie Fazzillo battling Norman Padovani now for the 15th position. Porsche versus Mustang. And the Christmas tree has calmed down for the moment, Bryan.
Yeah, I'll give you all a little inside baseball. My Christmas tree is just a frozen Christmas tree, so every few minutes I have to reopen it so I can get the new order everybody's in. So I'm just listening for Josh to call names.
Like we said, testing a new system and trying to figure it out, get some bugs ironed out. One car wide, Chris Wilkie.
Work wonderfully.
At least we have those. Zach Goddard gets by Chris Wilkie. Morgan Smith is retired in the 58. What happened there? Oh, fell out of the server, and then came back in. Dropping
Okay, yeah, that got
positions
Morgan
into the
Smith
hairpin
on
in the
track.
wall. Disappeared for a little bit there.
Yeah, Morgan Smith definitely on track in 31st, it looks like.
And not sure what's happening over radio. Kretschmer came over and said something. I'm trying to keep an eye, or rather an ear, on what's happening there. Not missing anything up front. Miguel Colon is pulling away half a second the last time around ahead of half a second up on Delgado the last time around. Lap
You
time
can't
wise.
even see
So,
Delgado from the rear view of Colon's
No.
car.
gone is the 87 versus the Audi, the 03. As
He's actually catching lap
Just-
traffic.
no chance of rain today. So
He's
we don't
about
have
to
to
catch
worry
up to
about
Vito here.
that one. As Vito exited the pit lane. Just trying to find any battle that we might have. As where is Vito? A couple seconds up the road under
Yeah.
the walkover crossover bridge and into the final chicane.
It'll be the first lap car of the evening. Not a title you
Nathan
want.
Branham's the next car up. No rear wing on the 30. I'm going to try and take a look, see what had happened when he lost his rear wing, because that's something new.
Oh, I have
And-
that. I have that. We can
Oh,
go.
he lost his rear wing when he backed it into the fence. I missed that part. He was going backwards after he spun, and he then hit the fence, which I missed. Bryan, 3 cars around to the hairpin. It's Nick Vincent. We've got the 12 of Vincent, Donnie Heineman, and Morgan Smith.
Let's go back and look.
As
You saw it. I didn't.
Morgan Smith claimed he was blinking, and he missed the braking point entirely and
Morgan Smith
drilled Donnie
definitely was
Heineman
blinking.
in the 68. Did you lose him on feed there?
Oh, I definitely lost him on feed. When I tried to pull him up, he was definitely blinking, and it
There
went.
it is.
Oh. Yeah,
Right
he
into
definitely
Heineman.
blinked and did not turn.
As Wanshi Rakenna. Wanshi got shoved off the road by Justin. Robichaux comes across and says that he's sorry. As Robichaux, Robichaux squirrely in the 193 off of turn 4. Here comes Dolio in the 46. Let's try and pick this up, Bryan. Battle for 26th. Dolio takes the spot. Can he over-under Will Robichaux? Squirrely under acceleration is the 46. Both Mustangs ahead of the Porsche of Wanshi Rakenna. Coxon has passed Chris Wilkie. Wilkie staying out of the way of Jesse Coffey. Flashing the lights is that Rakenna. Let's try and pick up Jesse Coffey and Chris Wilkie. This is for the 20th position in the hairpin. As they are single file. So many battles to keep an eye on, because now we've got Schofield looking to the inside of Parker Dime for third in pro. Down to the first corner, and Schofield came across and turned himself, it looked like, off the front bumper of Parker Dime. And the 313
Oh, he
in
didn't
the
get back
infield
on.
in turns 1 and 2.
He was pointed the wrong way, Josh. He had the opportunity to maybe get back on and not lose too much, but he fell down to 10th, 11th. That's a big drop.
And I think that's the second issue for Schofield in this race.
He's not having a good night.
Miguel Colon has dispatched of Omar Esvito and lengthened the gap to Delgado. It is now 6 seconds ahead of the 03. As Edgar Ruiz trying to catch Walter McAnulty in the 113. Last time around, the 113 was up by 1/10 of a second over Ruiz in the 80. Christian Okendo side by side with Rafael Sosa. This is for the 12th position. It's Porsche versus Mustang. Exiting the second chicane.
Oh,
And
they
now down the
touched.
back straightaway to the hairpin. They touch again. Okendo to the inside. Pushes a little wide. Can he take the spot? Comes across. Not clear. And the Mustang surges off the corner. Side by side down the casino straightaway to the final chicane. Does Okendo let him have it? He does. But you can get the slipstream into this final chicane. But Okendo a little bit too far back, Bryan.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work to get up there. Porsche definitely smaller and nimbler cars. The Ford just looked giant compared to
Here
it.
comes Okendo. trying again. Will he set up a pass into the first couple of corners? Into the center S, into the left, into the right.
No, he's not going to attempt it there.
So wide.
But he'll attempt
Here comes
it there.
Okendo. Down to the 3 and 4 chicane. Okendo backs out of it. No, he doesn't. Deep on the brakes. Closes the door by the slimmest of margins. And Okendo to 12th. What a move.
Yeah, that was risky, too. He went over the curb there to make the move stick. I'm always afraid of spinning the car going up on the curb like that. Car gets a couple little bounces. He just held that wheel perfectly, though.
We saw that happen to Branham. Hit the curb wrong, and around you can go easy in these GT3 cars. They don't behave very nicely when you drive them like that.
You know, Bryan Coxon here in 19th position going up to Zach Goddard in 18th. A 3/10 gap.
As Goddard
That's one of
ahead
your cars,
Coxon.
right?
Yes, sir, for JC Simsport. We got 2 cars in the field. Zach Goddard in the Pro class. Cody Erdman coming back home and racing in the AM category. So good to see both of them on track. And Goddard holding off Coxon for the 18th position. David Schofield has passed Rob Ferretti as we ride on board Coxon in the McLaren.
Rough night for Coxon. Started 5th, down to 19th. I don't think they're any fault of his own. I think he just got touched. Went around.
Top 5 running their own races. Taking a look. Let's pick up Sosa and Okendo again. These guys aren't done for 12th. We've got the Porsche of Okendo and the Mustang of Sosa. Interestingly, cross-class, so technically speaking, this position doesn't matter. But it's good to see that in TORQ, every position matters, even if it's not for points or anything like that, just for pride. And Sosa trying to make himself 1 spot higher than Okendo after Okendo's daring move into the chicane on the last lap.
I mean, it might not matter for where you finish in class tonight, but it definitely matters for your points. I mean, they work off of a shared point set. So there's no 25 for first or in either class. It's wherever you fell overall is how many points you get.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, every spot
Just
is worth it.
The various quirks of the TORQ Sports Car Series making it unique, as I had forgotten about that. So this position, very important. So ignore everything that I had just said for the last couple of minutes there. But as of course, usually in multi-class racing, if that position wouldn't matter, so that's why I mentioned it that way. But that's a little quirk they have to their point system.
Yep, that's why we chose one long tower instead of a split.
As 1 car around, Guillermo Seguenza, from the 30th spot. And I think he did exactly what Branham did in the second chicane into the wall. He's going to lose a couple positions there. And a couple cars still in the pit lane. As Coxon in the pit lane. Scheduled pit stop. I don't blame him. Do something different. You've got to try and make something up, Ryan.
Yeah. And
no tires for the 23.
yeah, I'm wondering, back to some of those cars that got the black flag, I'm wondering if they made them do a drive-through, and if that changed their strategy at all. I don't know if they haven't had enough of the race already to do their pit stop back then, or if they just got a 10-second penalty. I'm unable to tell what happened to them. So
the black flags are cleared. Well, Guibato's got a black flag now in the 25. I'll try and see what I think it might be a slowdown.
Look at the battle for 10th.
Yes,
here.
it is a slowdown.
9th.
He got served. Battle for 9th, Ruiz and McNulty. We've got Corritto and Okendo. I'll try and keep an eye on this one while looking at this on monitor. Okendo's got some damage. I'm trying to try and roll it back. We look at Ruiz slipstreaming the Midwest Motorsports. And Okendo not happy. Take a look and see off monitor, see what had happened. Did he come together with Sosa? He's been driving with a broken car for a while, so I'm not sure what had happened there. It's definitely fully broken now, Brian, in the 21.
Yeah.
I don't know if it pulls up on your feed for an instant one-click replay, but I could not find it. I was scrolling back for a while.
No,
Unless, can you get damage over the curbs if you hit them wrong?
Probably. I've definitely experienced. I've definitely damaged my own car going over the curbs. Yeah, I don't see any. I don't see any incident all the way back. Although the timing did decide to tell me at one point that everybody had an incident.
I think Christian Oquendo's just got a drive-through penalty for avoidable contact, or was it Sosa? I think Sosa did. Yes, black flag for the 50. Remember, with Ethan Halsey doing race control live now, we will have the live penalties, and I've got it pulled up. Sosa dive-bombed, forced his way through on Oquendo in the hairpin, and that's what broke that car. So Sosa will have to serve that penalty. See if we can pull it up.
You know what lap that was? Like on 12?
I don't. That sounds right. Let's figure it out together, ladies and gentlemen. Let's, might have to go a little forward. Let's roll it forward super professional, I promise. Because it's way up in the hairpin on the other side of the track. So we might have to go a little bit farther. I'll keep an eye off monitor for any battles brewing. But Oquendo's leading, and Sosa, right through the chicane, will play it. And Sosa's gaining. Sosa, what is that? Car length. Let's take a look from high above, Brian. We'll get the best camera angle. As Oquendo shifting right. Sosa fades. There he goes. Avoidable contact for the 50.
Yeah, very avoidable. I was just wanting that position back, taking it angrily.
It's back to live pictures. Pit stops begin to unravel. Not missing anything up front. The AM class battle. A little bit of limbo because of everybody pitting. As Miguel Colon leads 8 seconds ahead from Delgado. As we are going to step aside for just a couple moments on the Automotive Sports Network. You won't miss a thing. We'll go ASN nonstop from Montreal.
I cite the address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous with your personal data.
Switch on privacy. Switch off trackers and viruses. Go to NordVPN.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Racing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan records of the greatest greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds it.
Side between these two in a turn one. This is going to get spicy.
Exiting turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap clock at the inside line. McLaughlin contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. From the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the entry to turn one, bending to the inside of Magnus, gives him a nudge. The grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like Magnus will hold the spot. We welcome you back to round 4 of season 6 of the TORQ Sports Car Series, live from the circuit Gilles-Villeneuve in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, with Bryan Sawyer in the production truck, and also next to me in the commentary box. My name is Josh Mertz, live on the Automotive Sports Network, and we've got about 18 minutes left to go here in Montreal, and it has been the Miguel Colon show since the drop of the green flag. But Bryan, I was going to go over all my sponsor plugs, but we saw some contact between some AM-class drivers during the break.
Yeah, we did. I'm going to see if I can pull it back here. It looked like... Was it Fozzie Fazillo and Ramon Vasquez?
It was Fozzie. Yes, sir.
All right, let's pull it back.
Taking a second look. I believe this was for the class lead. And outbroke himself, I think, into that final chicane. And you can see he's kind of weaving right towards the end. He knows, oh my God, I've got nowhere to go. Yeah, he knows. And it's a helpless feeling when you miss your braking point like that and you've got no chance. You are a passenger. As we focus back on our race leader, Miguel Colon. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Ring the bell to be notified of our live streams on Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, and soon to be Wednesdays, I think. That's all I'm saying for that. If you'd like your content broadcasted, asnTVUSA.com for any and all inquiries. And we'll take a look at our programming schedule on the Automotive Sports Network, ASN Live, for the next week or so. We've got NASA Rallycross Supercars, the World Championship of North American Simulated Auto Racing. That is Saturday at Navarra for round 8 on the 26th, 2 p.m. Eastern. Myself, Josh Mertz, and Bryan Sawyer for that one. NASA Rallycross Futures and Lights, round 9 in Barcelona, back to the regular Rallycross layouts, 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern on Sunday the 27th. I think you're going to have Josh Darnell and Ethan Halsey for that one. Josh Darnell, wonderful commentary debut, my friend. Great commentary debut, production debut next week. We've got some big things planned here at ASN. He's helping with our website as well. NASA Rallycross Contenders on Monday, also in Barcelona, as the aforementioned Josh Darnell clinched that series championship. It's all for glory runs in the last 2 rounds. That's Monday, the 28th, 9 p.m. Eastern. Bryan Sawyer, Justin Robichaux. And our next round for the TORQ Sports Car Series next week at the Circuit de la Sarthe in Le Mans, France. That's on Halloween at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You'll have Bryan Sawyer. Not sure about me. You guys are going to have to play fisticuffs and fight my wife. That's going to be good luck.
Or they could just listen to me.
We don't want to.
It'll be terrible.
We don't want to forget. we don't want to forget that Cameras All Season on ASM brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out, facebook.com/WSimCams. Thank you so much, Andrew Cardinale IV, for all of the support that you give the Automotive Sports Network with these camera feeds for Rallycross when we had NASA Sports Car, and for TORQ as well. So Miguel Colon is now 12 seconds up the road from Ricardo Delgado. The big factor here is in the AM class. Ryan Guibardo in the 25 is in the lead of that class. Next car in line, Jose Dolio in the 46. It is a teammate battle for second in class there, Bryan. 46 and 50. That's 17th and 18th overall.
Yeah, and you don't want to see them get into each other. We saw two teammates already hit each other. We got Kretschmer in the wall.
Guibardo and McNulty for the 8th position overall. Side by side, Porsche versus Corvette. Or sorry, McLaren. Down to the hairpin. You've got David Schofield, who's had some not good times tonight. Here comes Rob Ferretti. 4 cars under a blanket. Schofield wide. Ferretti in the Porsche. Does he split the middle? He doesn't. Schofield gets the better run off the corner. And now down the casino straightaway.
Rob
to the
Ferretti
final chicane.
Did an excellent job of holding those, or getting on those brakes. He closed the gap, but the car in front of him didn't get off as fast as he wanted.
On the straightaway, trying to side draft McNulty. And did he hit him again? I don't know what to say there, Bryan. I think it was a side draft, misjudged.
Well, if you're gonna get hit, that's the perfect place to get hit. Get to go right off the track into the pits and use your fast repair. We're gonna take a look back. They did it right in front of the camera, but we'll look from high above. Nope, that's not the right accident.
That's Holroyd spinning.
That's Holroyd just doing something else.
Try and pull it up and see.
I don't think I have
and
it.
Crucially, that was Guibardo in the 25 in the AM class lead. And he's in the fence, in the pit lane now. This puts Jose Dolio battling his teammate for the AM class honors right behind Zach Goddard in the 29. Ryan Guibardo pass-through penalty from race control for avoidable contact. So that's going to end his day for the race win. And I know we were talking about earlier, Bryan, every point matters, every position matters, but
there we go.
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. He was squeezing him on the straight. I mean, what do you think there?
Oh, let's get a better view. Get a little closer. I feel like that's just a racing incident. I mean, one move down a little bit.
Oh, netcode, says Ryan on chat. He says, my bad, Walker. We got a bit of netcode.
I don't know. It looked like two cars drove into each other.
That's also fair.
And you can say netcode all you want, but sometimes it looks like just two cars drove into each other. It happens.
I did notice the cars touching at least.
It was a
one car with a plume of
spot
smoke.
to get hit,
Nathan Branham's got a plume of smoke. He was just sitting in the pit lane. I think he walked away from the sim rig because the car's blown up in the pit lane. Get a reset of everything going on here with just about 11 and a half minutes left. Miguel Colon, Ricardo Delgado, Parker Dime, Ramos, Odell, Clark, Rivera, Schofield, Ferretti, McNulty, the top 10. Coxon, Carrito, Coffey, Padovani, Goddard, Dolio, Sosa, Kretschmer, Ruiz, Johnson, the top 20. Timms, Wilkie, McKenna. We had one car spin off. It was Ed Boyles in the 88-37 in turn 1. We ride on board Miguel Colon in the 87. Tell you what, we actually haven't ridden a lap here in Montreal. So as we come off the wall of champions, down to the first corner, let's ride on board a race leader, Miguel Colon in Montreal.
You know, Josh, you can tell he's extremely comfortable driving this car. There is no
You can
lift,
put me to sleep with how smooth it is.
no hesitation. Just taking every corner, attacking it as hard as you can.
Regardless if it's virtual or in the real world, there's just, like I say every show, there's something about watching someone in the zone and when they know what they're doing. He's coming to lap Cody Erdman, coming to lap Aaron Hallroyd. A couple more cars that had some issues earlier on in the event. Justin Robichaux in 25th. Guillermo Zagenza gets by Omar's Vito as his Vito had to pit again. Now through the turns 3 and 4 chicane, Erdman lets him through. And Miguel Colon continues to reign supreme. 23 laps led, 13 seconds ahead of second place Ricardo Delgado. And the top 15 are all AM-class cars. Take a look at Jose Dolio battling Zach Goddard for 15th. This will give him an extra point, but he's got a decent gap over his teammate Rafael Sosa for the AM-class lead. Dolio on the outside, Goddard driver's left, or on the left rather. And the man from West Virginia holds the spot, but a bad exit off the corner, and they touch! And around Goddard goes in the 29. I have to hold my tongue, Brian.
I was going to say, Josh is probably not very happy about that.
I'm sorry, Zach. I'm sorry, Debbie. I'm sorry, Emma. Commentator's curse on that one. As we take a second look.
Yeah, it just looks like, who was it that hit him? Who was that there?
It was Jose Dolio.
Yeah,
the
Dolio
M-class leader.
got a wider exit on the turn. Goddard was turning in. I just don't think Dolio was ready for that him to be turning there as he got back on the accelerator.
Dolio now falling into the clutches of his teammate Sosa for the AM-class win. Rule number 1 in motor racing, whether virtual or real, is do not touch your teammate. Cody Erdman and I definitely didn't follow that early years ago.
Sosa's going to get the lead, actually. I'm wondering if Dolio, since we got live stewards tonight, will incur a drive through or anything because of that.
And that's, I think, the second penalty he's gotten this evening. I could be wrong on that. Deep into the hairpin, opening the door for his teammate Sosa. And the two Mustangs.
Do we have a penalty? I can't tell.
And Dolio claiming that Goddard drove into him on corner exit. Not sure.
I don't want to sound biased, but it looked like Goddard was completing his turn. I mean, it might not be the line you were planning on taking or the ideal line, but it was the line he was taking, and you're the car behind. You got to be prepared for it.
Chief Steward Bryan Sawyer of NASA Sim Racing. We're a little confused here, but we digress. Racing incident from race control.
Ooh.
Okay. That's interesting. It's giving us a new layer of these broadcasts, ladies and gentlemen, with live stewarding. And interesting.
I'm going to have to give Ethan a
Let's see.
He's going to continue to live steward. I can definitely let him do inputs or penalty or stewarding.
So,
be nice to see his comments on it pop up on our screen.
Nick Vincent, drive-through penalty, avoidable contact. As Zach Goddard, I spun a bit, but that contact was going to happen, he says on the chat. A little bit disjointed here. We're taking a look at Miguel Colon now. We're taking a look at David Schofield. Colon is 13.3 seconds up the road. And we are currently looking at the 0:21. This is Alex Rivera ahead of David Schofield. As we come to 5.5 minutes left to go here in Montreal. Thanks for joining us all evening on ASN Live. Be sure to join the conversation. And join our live streams Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Saturday for some more fun.
Yeah, 5.5 minutes, looking like 4 laps.
Like and subscribe, ring the bell to be notified of those live streams, along with those shorts, courtesy of Jess Rakowski. Doing a lot of work at the Automotive Sports Network to bring you guys some great content. I know it's a little bit shaky with all these system changes, but I just want to applaud the entire team, regardless if it's commentary, production, or behind the scenes. Doesn't matter what you do. All the work is definitely appreciated. as running order has not changed, as we still look at Schofield and Rivera for the 7th spot. Donnie Heineman having a conversation with Ricardo Delgado, as Delgado, I think, was trying to argue that Heineman wasn't letting him through when Heineman was on the brakes way in advance of the second place man in the race. Ferretti and Coxon side by side, Bryan. This is for 9th. These two battled last season. We remember, believe in Laguna Seca for the race lead there in California. And here, a couple thousand miles to the east, we've got a McLaren versus a Porsche side by side to the final chicane. Coxon for the moment. Ferretti on the brakes, side by side. No way! And that's going to be a slowdown for Ferretti. It has to be. On corner exit, it is. And Ferretti's got to give up some time. Through the field. The battle for the M-Class win is half a second between them, Bryan. Jose Dolio and Rafael Sosa. And this battle getting good. Schofield and Rivera getting good as well. We've actually got Dylan Clark, Alex Rivera, and David Schofield all close to each other, but let's keep an eye on this battle for the AM-Class victory as well. Last lap for Sosa, 137.1, 137.0 for Dolio.
I'm not sure they're going to do much battling between them. They got Kretschmer only 2 seconds behind them, who's 3rd in class right now. But, yeah, if I'm these two, if Sosa ends up being faster than Dolio, then I would let him go and hold 2nd, see what can happen, because, yeah, we can see Kretschmer right back there.
And Kretschmer started shotgun on this field. And he is 17th, 3rd in class. Great run for the 43, the man who won in Monza. And running well. Just running a clean race, run your own race, and here we are with a great run for the Mustang. 2.25 minutes left for Miguel Colon.
He keeps running this way. He is definitely taking Sosa, and he might have enough time to catch up to Dolio.
Maybe about 2 laps left, according to timing, for these guys. Let's try and find our battle for 7th. Rivera and Schofield still. 3/10 between them. And we've got one car in front of them. It's Stephen Ryan in 30th in the 36. So a lapped car potentially in the way. The gap has crossed 15 seconds for the race lead for Miguel Colon to Ricardo Delgado. And I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, the interviews are going to be very boring tonight. It's going to be one question. Talk me through your race. As now, Rivera trying to find a way around Stephen Ryan. Rivera came over, Chad, I think asking for Ryan to get out of the way. Ryan mows the lawn in the Mustang, comes across, lets them both through. The gap is 2 seconds.
Sorry.
2 seconds for the AM-Class lead. No battle there, I don't think, as we cross into lap and a half to go.
Rivera, I'm pretty mad. He held him up for quite a while there. Let Schofield get right on the bumper.
We have a battle as well for 11th overall. Walter McAnulty and Dan Carrito. McLaren versus McLaren. Midwest Motorsport versus Saints and Sinners. And they go down the back straightaway. Carrito looking to the outside. On the 113 is the 320 down to the final corner. Can he clear him? Tries to shoot the gap, and Dan comes across and takes out Nick Vincent in the process.
Oof.
And Dan Carrito, as Josh Darnell said on Sunday night, Dan Carrito is not prejudiced towards any race team at all when it comes to contact. As timer has expired now, and I think what that means, Barney will wave the white flag this time for our leader, Miguel Colon, in the 87. We've got 1 lap left and 16 seconds. That is incredible. His last lap was a 136. He's coming to the...
Checker the flag.
Does he know?
Yeah, he was flashing the lights. He's aware. He's very aware.
It's over.
It's over for him. Yep.
Barney lied to me. The race is over, and Cologne wins by 16 seconds over Ricardo Delgado. My apologies on that one. My timing lied to me. Sincerely apologize on that. Delgado second, Dime third. I'll tell you what, though. I hate to discredit those battles from second to sixth, but let's look at seventh, because Rivera and Schofield are side by side going to the final corner. It is McLaren versus Porsche, down to the last corner, on the last lap. Schofield took the inside. Dare you cut across on the braking zone? I don't think so. Schofield leisurely makes his way through, deep on the brakes. Rivera's going to get a better run off the corner. No, Schofield holds it for the 7th position ahead of... They both get a slowdown. They did. They both got a slowdown.
Over the curb, same way. Look at this, right at the end here. We got 4 cars under a blanket.
As Burrito, Coffee, Padovani, McNulty. Apologies if I've butchered that name all evening. Dolio comes home to win an AM ahead of Rafael Sosa. Ruiz, Kretschmer. Kretschmer had a slowdown in the final corner, but still an impressive run, cutting through half the field. Coming home in 19th, Darius Timms in 20th. As it's Jose DeLeo. We have been saying that wrong the entire time. I sincerely apologize. We got no pronunciation guide, so we've been just kind of winging it. Classification for round 4 here in Montreal. Miguel Colon, Ricardo Delgado, Parker Dine, Carlos Ramos, Odell, Clark, Schofield, Rivera, Coxon, Ferretti, Curto, Coffee, the top 12. Padovani, McNulty, DeLeo, Sosa, Ruiz, Johnson, Kretschmer, Timms, Wilkie, Vasquez, Robichaux, Requena, the top 24. 25th through 36th. Allroyd, Erdman, Okendo, Heinemann, Esvito, Ryan Boyles, Vincent, Zagenza, Goddard, Fazillo, Clark, and in 37th position, Yabato, Nathan Brown, and Morgan Smith. A couple of the cars, obviously Ethan Halsey, race control, it scores him there, but I'd say Morgan Smith, last car on track in 38th. Because, Brian, if we are good for interviews,
I have no idea.
We'll have our first chat.
This is the first time trying.
I did notice that you messaged me, and I did not get a notification on it. So we're going to have a chat with, let's see who we got. I think we've got Parker Dime first, 3rd place man. So, Brian, you let me know when we are all good. And we've got Parker Dime up here with us. Parker, it's Josh and Brian in the booth. You got us?
Yes, I do. You got me.
I have you. I'm just making sure that we
him.
have you externally. We got him. So, I said in the broadcast, this is going to be a very boring interview because it seemed like a very boring minding your own race. Talk me through it.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it seemed from in the cockpit. I'd have to look at the contact between me and David. I don't know exactly what happened here. From my point of view, it looked like maybe it went a little deep, but I don't know what happened. But yeah, pretty boring race. Got a little worried. The Porsche behind me was catching pretty quick. I made a few mistakes, but a third place is not a bad result.
Consistent podiums. The championships are won on the bad days for sure. So podiums, super important. Anyone you'd like to thank tonight?
No, thank you guys for the broadcast once again, and I'll see you again next week, hopefully.
We shall see in Le Mans. Good run, my friend.
Thanks.
2nd place man, Ricardo Delgado. And it's Josh and Brian in the booth. You got us?
Yep. How you doing, guys?
Doing well, my friend. It was, I just asked Parker. Seemed like a very boring race from the top 3 point of view. Just kind of racing your own race, racing the track. Talk me through it.
Yeah, basically the first few laps, I was behind the guy that qualified P2. Was just a waiting game because this track is really hard to make a pass. So I was just putting the pressure on him until he eventually made a mistake. I went by, and that's it. Pretty much a boring race after that.
At least you had a good time driving the car, I assume, right?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, this is that track that it doesn't let you have a rest being so close to the walls.
All right, my friend. Anyone you'd like to thank for your 2nd place result tonight?
Sure. I would like to thank CMPR, which is our team. Miguel was just too fast for me on this track, so hopefully we can keep going.
Alrighty, my friend. Good run. We'll see you next week in Le Mans.
See you guys.
Once I click the right buttons, I promise I know what I'm doing. We're going to pull in our AM class winner, Jose DeLeo. And Jose, it's Josh and Bryan in the booth. It was a crazy race for you. Talk me through it.
Yeah, I mean, terrible start, second race in a row that I lose the car in the first lap. Then it's a recovery mission for me. Coming from behind, I'm honestly tired of it. But yeah, I mean, it makes it fun, makes it interesting, fun race.
I think you had a penalty, although I could be wrong. I think there was an avoidable contact penalty in the hairpin. Am I off base on that?
No, I think it was my teammate, probably Rafael Sosa.
That sounds right. You guys are running identical cars.
Yeah, correct. So I did have some small contact after the last chicane with another car. I think it was a McLaren. Just racing hard. He tried to make it too hard for me, and unfortunately, we made some contact, and he got the worst of it.
For sure, my friend. Anyone you'd like to thank for the AM class victory tonight?
No, just a big hello to my family, all the guys from PR racing in this league. We are making ourselves known, and it's an incredible league, competitive. I'm happy to be here.
All righty, my friend. Good run, and we will see you next week in Le Mans.
Thank you.
Once I stop clicking the wrong buttons, and Bryan's muted, so he can't even roast me. We've got the man of the hour, Miguel Colon, in the commentary box with us. And I've asked this same question, and these interviews are going to be so boring to watch back, but you just kind of took pole, ran away, and hid. 16 seconds. Talk me through your race.
Well, I've been a little rusty lately, but because of work, I have been traveling a lot. So I practice with a couple of the guys that were not able to make it today. So I want to say hi to the Manu Plet and also to Armando Renz, the Promes. We practiced with them this week, but they couldn't make it today. And I was just trying to hit my marks and trying to avoid the mistakes. It's very easy to make a mistake and hit the walls on this track, and that's going to cost a lot.
As it just seemed like Bryan kind of made the comment, and I don't know if Bryan wants to or has any questions for you, but you were just in tune with your car. We rode on board, and you were just attacking every single curve, leaving nothing on the table. So how is it to drive one of these cars around this track?
I sometimes I feel like if I try to back off a little bit from my standpoint to just back off my pace, I tend to make sometimes mistakes, or the car get unsettled because I'm not putting the right load in the car to keep it stable through the corners. So I prefer always to keep it right there in touch. And I think this track, if you find your flow and your momentum in the corners, like it's easy to follow as soon as you make those right points to the car. But like if you get like a too early entry or too late in the brakes, it's gonna cost you a lot of time, and then it's gonna unsettle the car a lot. So I was trying to focus on that and keep it that flow.
Keeping the flow is certainly important. We saw in 1988, Ayrton Senna stopped focusing and crashed from the lead. So it could happen to the greatest in motor racing as well, my friend. Anyone you'd like to thank for the victory tonight?
Oh, I thank you guys for having me here today. I also want to thank our team, Sim Racing PR from Puerto Rico. There's a couple of the guys split up in different teams. So I want to say thank you to everybody and hi to the whole community. So thank you very much. And also my sponsor, Don't Say You Machine Shop.
Alrighty, my friend. Good run, and we will see you next week in Le Mans.
All right, man. Thank you very much.
And Bryan, we handled all of our interviews. Do we have points? Are we able to take a look at provisional points exiting Montreal?
I don't have anything, Josh. I'm a terrible person.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You tell me what we'll go over, and we'll handle it.
Everything but points.
Let's take a look at some programming notes. Saturday, the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge will be at Navarra for round 8 of the 31st season. 2024 B in the Endurance Cup concludes. That'll be at 2 p.m. Eastern on the 26th. Kieran Lifflander, Evan McFarland. That has been a duel all season long. Who knows what will happen? Bryan Sawyer, myself, Josh Mertz for that. The top split of lights will be Sunday. Consider that the World Championship, too, along with NASA Rallycross Futures. That's on Sunday the 27th, 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern in Barcelona. Back to the regular track. See if Kieran Lifflander can steal the points lead away from some guy named Bryan Sawyer. It's going to be interesting to watch. You'll have Josh Darnell making a production debut alongside Ethan Halsey for those two shows. And on Monday, NASA Rallycross Contenders, Justin Robichaux, Bryan Sawyer for that. Also in Barcelona the 28th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And our next round for the TORQ Sports Car Series will be next Thursday at the Circuit de l'Art in Le Mans, France. Halloween, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. You'll have Bryan Sawyer. Not sure about me, like I've said numerous times during this show. You'll have to fight my wife for that. So we'll just have to go from there. Cameras on all season on ASN, brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/WSimCams if you need some cam files for your sim racing broadcast. Andrew Cardinale IV and team doing great work there. And if you like what you saw tonight, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And ring the bell to be notified of our live streams on Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, along with our short-form video content courtesy of Jess Rakowski. And if you'd like your content broadcasted by the Automotive Sports Network, ASNTVUSA.com. And we do have points before we close out this evening in Montreal, unless Bryan has lied. We're going to give him a second. So, I guess final thought from me while he's working on that internally is what a run for the top three. They were 30 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. Turns out Carlos Ramos closed into 1.8 seconds from Parker Dime through that race. Coxon had some issues. Corritto had some issues. Jose Dolio, so the whole field, really. And what a run for a couple of these guys, and what could have been. For Ryan Guibardo, who took the lead in the AM class. We take a look at points. I think these might be accurate. They should be. Parker Dime up 29 positions. He's up to 6th. Corey Allen still leads. Ruiz, Alvarez, Corritto, Ramos, the top 5. Dime, Sandoval, Coxon, Rivera, Clark, the top 10. We'll roll with it. Let's do it live. The M class, Kretschmer, Vasquez tied. Smith, Dolia, Arenz, Tim Sosa, Crosby, Palermo, Vincent, the top 10. And then next up is the Constructors Championship, Sim PR. I think that's updated, Bryan. I think that's with the same earlier on, so
that might
go ahead and scrap that if you would like. You want to give me a final thought before we close this one up?
Well, it was a pretty good race. Not too chaotic. We had a bunch of contact, but I enjoy live stewarding. It makes it a little interesting. I'm not used to that in any series I run or that I commentate on either. Live stewarding really, I kind of like it. It's kind of worth it. Good job, Ethan.
Very good job, Ethan. And more to come from there. As the checkered flag has fallen on the evening, from all of us at the Automotive Sports Network, from Jess Rakowski, Victor Valley, Justin Robichaux, Cody Erdman, Josh Darnell, Ethan Halsey, and Bryan Sawyer, my name is Josh Mertz, as we hope you enjoyed today's coverage of the TORQ Sports Car Series tonight from Montreal. We congratulate Pro Class winner Miguel Colon and our AM Class winner Jose DeLeo, and be sure to join us next week in Le Mans. But until then, so long, everyone. I'm back on Discord.